Hey guys, wanted to leave off where we were last video and talk about um, victimization and how big of a problem it is. And I didn't really even think about um, victimization as much until I sort of realized what it really meant and how it was involved in my life, where I just kind of kept thinking about events that sort of led to my accident that made me paraplegic. And this was sort of like a cycle and really I'm very much out of that cycle right now. This victimization, this like and we talked about feeling hopeless and really that thickness of the trauma on you, kind of like affecting you from really doing the things that you want to do. um, and it's going to really affect your ability to even like find a way to love people, love getting relationships and things like that. So one of the best ways to deal with that is even like writing things down. Like whenever, if you if you've meditated, or when you're going to sleep and you have a bunch of thoughts in your head, it may be time to sort of write those things down, and really sort of address them at a later time. You don't have to address them right then, but really think about, and then whenever you have a chance to meditate, um, we even covered meditation in a previous video, where you can find a way to get that release from those things that are sort of bringing some thickness over your life. Um, it really affect how you can even express yourself. Um, the victimization and the fear are both on this far side of the spectrum, where they sort of hinder your ability to love and trust people. So there was actually a study that said that people that write about the things that are really giving them problems, that that it really helped those people just writing things down for a minute or two a day, writing down the problems. Those that itself is sort of like addressing the problems, getting them out on paper, being able to see them, um, instead of like letting them come up into your subconscious. You're actually using your conscious mind to sort of address these things. And then whenever you meditate, you want to use your conscious mind to address these things that are um, these limiting beliefs that are like fearful, and this victimization. um, and even such a traumatic thing as what happened to me, being drugged with PCP by people that plan to do it. I have found a way to sort of release this stuff out of my life. I found a way to talk to you guys about it and sort of find a way to release, um, and really accept it, and then also ask, why is it that this keeps coming back? Why is it that this keeps coming back? And whenever you're meditating, why is it that you're thinking about certain things that you shouldn't be? Maybe you should be thinking about what you're hearing, the crickets, the grasshoppers, the insects in the background. Maybe you should think about other things and ask why this stupid stuff is getting into your meditation. And that's really going to be help with you accepting and addressing these things. It's going to help you move towards a calmness, a trust, and be able to love and appreciate other people, and be able to find that gratitude, um, that helps you really, really enjoy your life and be happy. Um, a gratitude for the lessons that you learned from even traumatic events. If you can sort of flip this and think about, um, the great things that you've learned, the great lessons that you've learned, then you start fearing, um, the the crazy things that sort of just don't even make sense. If you find these things that you cycle in, like these fears and the victimization, if you find these things and write them down, then you're going to realize how stupid they are at times, and how easy it is for you to flip that the other way, like that this isn't something that you should be fearful about. This isn't something that you should feel a victim of, and let it sort of rule your life. And even in the severe cases where, like, yeah, I was a victim of someone that literally laced a drug in something I was smoking, and I had a 3-month episode. It was a horrendous episode, but really, I actually feel like it helped me find God more than before then. So like, there's going to be always like these silver linings and things like that you can think about, and sort of, as soon as you find silver linings, you feel less like a victim and more empowered and really able to grow with people, able to trust people, and able to love people, and show gratitude for the great people in your life. And maybe it may be time to avoid those people that want to act like they're a victim of you. There's a lot of people that I've actually dealt with that want to act like I attacked their religion and stuff like that, or I offended them, or I ruined their experiences. So I can't even really think of many people that have ruined actual experiences for me. And I've had horrible things done to me. You know, I feel like I could go back to, I'm starting to feel more and more able to conquer my fears, and I actually feel like it'd be really powerful for me to go back to the house that I was drugged with PCP and shoot a video outside of the house. And before this, years before this, that would have seemed like such a daunting thing for me. It would have seemed so difficult for me to even talk on that corner where they drugged me with PCP upstairs in that apartment. So as soon as you get the ball rolling and you sort of start tackling these problems in your life, all of a sudden something like that you literally you just really would not want to be in that situation of being outside that place where you had a bad experience. You can go back to it and sort of face it even head on it, and then, you know, being understanding to how you feel and everything like that. So if I was to do this literally years ago, I feel like it would have been very traumatic for me because I was living in that state of trauma. But that's not the same now. So you know, definitely listen to yourself and how you feel, and if you're ready to do something like that. I'm not saying you should jump in and do some sort of crazy things and tackle some wild fears, but really listen to yourself and think about whether it is those fears are even really that relevant. You know, are you being fearful of your imagination? I know a lot of people are very, very fearful of their own imagination of things, that their imagination even ruled their lives in a way, and they weren't drugged into a psychosis. So like, I mean, it's hard to resonate with that, but I mean, there's people that can get psychoses from not being drugged, but as far as I know, I don't know anybody that. Well, actually, I know one person that had somewhat of a psychosis. I don't know if it was drug induced or not, but besides that, I don't really know anybody that's had a psychosis around me that wasn't drugged. So, and a lot of times that's the most severe ones, is whenever you're drugged by something, like what I was drugged with. So obviously some people experience some similar things to me, maybe not the true extent. Maybe they didn't suffer from a psychosis that lasted 3.5 months. But also think about that too. Think about whatever that's happening to you, and then compare it to maybe something like, if something really bad didn't happen to you and you still have a lot of these fears, think about what happened to me and maybe be able to sort of understand, how ridiculous it is that you're fearful about something like that. I had these fears of socializing in a way where I would go into a room. I'm in a wheelchair. I would go into a room and I would just feel like everybody's eyes are on me and stuff like that. And then the more you sort of live out of your head and stuff like that, like I just went to a pirate game and there was thousands of people there, and I was actually like on a kind of like a platform where a lot of people could see what I was saying, and I was saying things to the athletes that were going up to bat. I mean, and even like ridiculous things like that, you might be self-conscious about even saying. I was saying to these professional athletes that are very respected and everything like that, and I was being very jocular, and I knew there was even like a bunch of Padre fans like right next to me. There's like a whole section of Padre fans literally like right next to me, and I was chirping all of their, like, not all of them, but a few of their players. At least 3 or 4 players. I think I said things to that game, and so none of that. I could have been like fearful, and I could be like, oh no, what if I offend these Padre fans by making fun of this guy's tight pants? I could have been like, oh, I shouldn't say that. But instead, I did it not only because I wanted to enjoy that. I was making my buddy laugh too. My buddy thought everything I was saying was hilarious, so that's part of it too. But you get what I mean. You can go from like an area where you're a little bit worried to go into a room with people that maybe there was even like 10 people in, and then all of a sudden you go to the ballpark and there's thousands of people, and you can start to enjoy things a little bit more. So this thickness of the trauma, the victimization, the fear can sort of really hinder your ability to experience things, and just very important to your own success. We talked about that in the last episode. All of these things are sort of geared towards success, but this is more like of a stepping stone to really getting to be able to trust other people and have that calmness about you, to find the ability to love and have gratitude. And this is like one pivotal like graph you see in like psychology, where you're trying to find love and happiness, health, and wealth. And I think we might actually start incorporating these things a little bit more. These 4 like principal subjects. Maybe we'll get into those a little bit more. I don't know. We also have to cover all of the chakras and the different spectrums of the chakra. We covered today a spectrum of dealing with victimization and leading towards being able to love and appreciate and trust other people and have gratitude. So there was, and I can't stress you more how I was in like a dark time where I lacked gratitude for even going to being able to go to do physical therapy, and gratitude for a lot of things that I still had in my life. And I even had people tell me that stuff too, and like, you need to show more gratitude and things like that, or I heard there's things you need to be, and I didn't make some specific changes, but I did those sort of things in the spectrum. I sort of accepted more things, and it was a slow process, and it actually took me a few years. I'd like for you to try and speed that up a bit, but for me, it took a few years for me to sort of push away the victimization, the fear, and doubt even, and sort of accept, ask my mind why, if you ask yourself why in a lot of different situations, you can really discover why people are acting a certain way, or why your mind's acting a certain way. If you can question if really the ideas that you're creating are really realistic. So just very, very important stuff here, to really be able to understand the reality of things. In most situations, fears are usually unrational and really not, they don't might not even make sense. Like, they just kind of create a little bit more anxiety, and sort of it filters. It literally comes back to those fears too. It'll, like, the anxiety, the fear and the anxiety, and all of a sudden fear comes back again, and like, you have to disrupt yourself from this like cycle. And you can do it, guys. I can't tell you how good I feel right now. I need to tackle more fears, actually, and sort of live my life to the fullest. And I can tell you right now, I'm ready to start doing more things like that. And you'll know when you're ready to do things and tackle fears. And you really have to watch out for going back down the spectrum, and making sure that you don't come up with reasons to be fearful and reasons to feel like a victim of things. So think about where you're at on the spectrum. And in all my videos, if you have to look back at videos, look at the spectrums, look at my descriptions. I have a little graph there to show you guys what exactly the videos are covering, what each spectrum we're talking about, and figure out where you're at on it. Figure out what the problems is, and ask yourself why you're in that sort of area, and why you have these questions about why you're fearful, or why are you acting like a victim of something that may have happened 10 years ago. Sort of accept these things and move on. Get out of your mind and sort of focus your conscious. Write those things down. And then, like I said, if you need any more help, make sure you look back at the videos. This playlist is Mentoring 365. We are still on this journey to try to produce 365 videos on self-development, self-improvement, and my journey to be able to find the best way to experience things, and the most healthy way of experiencing things. Thank you so much for watching. I love you for watching this. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.